Uh, Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in. It's been 3 days already, and we've been hosting some of the very valuable sessions, and we believe it has been much valuable for the hackers as well. Today we are having a session on getting started with building DApps using Solidity by Sally Patel. Uh, Previously, she was working with Matic Network as a software engineer, and currently she is building the DApp list as a tech lead. And also, she has been speaking in many events and hackathons, and her sessions has been so much valuable for the Web3 space. She's going to build a decentralized Airbnb live. It'll be so much fun and to get and it's so exciting to get an hands-on experience with Web3. I'm super excited and personally, decentralized applications and blockchain is has been one of my favorite topic actually. Let's get started. I think this is the best time to get into Web3 or blockchain. Ethereum has been so much in the news recently with its 2.0 uh, with its 2.0 version coming up. Let's get started, and I'm inviting Sally to join us, and over to you, Sally.
Hey, Siley, and currently I am back. Yeah, maybe we can directly jump into the blockchain space. So I'm sharing the screen. Can you see the
I guess no, I'm not able to see your screen.
can
Yes, I can see it now. Let me add it to the screen.
I'm not sure if I am audible. Just give me some thumbs up or something.
Hi, Sally. I think you're audible.
Okay, okay. So I'll directly start.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So yeah, before that, can you just tell me the audience if they are already aware of blockchain space or they are completely we are going to uh,
I think a lot
have
of people
stop.
are. I think a
Yeah,
lot of people are new to blockchain, so we can actually start from blockchain 101.
cool, cool. So we are going to cover some basic concepts like what is solidity and how we can integrate the solidity into our web application. So then what are the accounts, what is the transactions, and then we are going to build a simple application called Airbnb. So for this, we are going to first write the smart contracts and then we are going to integrate that smart contracts into our web application. Okay, so let's start with accounts. So what is accounts? Account is basically it's same like what we have like a bank account, but it's just a Ethereum account. So Ethereum account is a hexadecimal address. That address is basically used whenever you want to say send something, say you want to send money to another account. So this is your address. This account will be used to interact with the another account. So it is a 20 byte identifier and we call it as a address. It's basically hexadecimal address. So there are two types of address. One is externally owned account and second is contract account. So externally owned account is basically the account which is uh, which is used by the users like you, me, are you use this we use this address to uh, say make interaction or make transaction. Say I want to transfer the fund, then I'll use your externally owned account to transfer those funds. And another is a contract account. Account is basically your smart contract. When you deploy your smart contract on the blockchain, you'll get one address, that is a contract account. So let's move. So yeah, like I said, the externally owned account which are controlled by the humans, like you and I have the custody, I have the private key. So I use this private key to make the transaction. And on a contract account, there is a code which is already written, and then we deploy that code on a on a chain, and that contract that contract account will be handled by this code. Say for example, we have addition code, the simple contract which is responsible for making the addition. So that contract account uh, will be what we can say, will be only able to perform those set of functions. Next, what is transaction? So transaction is not just transferring money from one account to another. Any 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 actions performed on a blockchain is called a transaction. So here is an example. Say externally owned account. uh, Externally owned account transfers make an interaction with the smart contract is one transaction. Another transaction can be one smart contract is interacting with the another contract, can be considered as one transaction. Or you and me, user A and user B is making any transfers or something, is also considered as a transaction. So basically, any interaction with the blockchain is considered as a transaction. Then the Solidity. Solidity is a language which is used to write a smart contract. There are many other language, but Solidity is most popular language, and we are going to learn this Solidity in this workshop. Okay, so Solidity is very simple language. Like it has its loops, conditional statements like if, as, variables, functions, objects, types. It's like any other languages, like you might have learned any other language, Python, Java, etc. So Solidity have all these things, but uh, as this Solidity language, these contracts are directly going to interact with the blockchain. There are some set of operations you can do, and like there are some limitations there. So first limitation is memory is limited. You cannot um, what you can say, uh, you cannot store a very large data uh, s- on the blockchain. The another is a limit. Computational limit is basically you cannot perform your AI computations on the Ethereum. Yeah, though there are some improvements in a blockchain are trying to do it, but yeah, still it's in a very early stage. We are not sure. They are trying to solve the problem of this computational capacity. The another is, yeah, there is a reading data is free. Basically, what does this mean? When you want to check your blockchain, for example, if you want to check your balance, then that is free. But when you want to say do put it in this way. When you want to write some data on it, that is, you want to say transfer one faucet from one place to another, then there is a write operation, right? Uh, if you deduct the someone's balance and add someone's balance, so that is a write operation. Then for this write operation, you have to pay some gas cost. We'll talk about this gas cost later on. But yeah, there are some Ethereum mental models you need to consider before diving into the Ethereum. Okay, then it's time to code. Let's directly start with the code. So here is a GitHub repository. You can clone this GitHub repository and make sure you are on a master Solidity branch. Okay, so I have already cloned this and I'll just switch the branch. So right now I am on a master Solidity branch, and now I'll open this in a Visual Studio Code. You can use any editor of your choice, but I prefer to use the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so there is a instruction.md file. So we are going to follow this only. Uh, say let's start with the data structure. So struct is like any other. The struct is like any struct in any other language. So you already might have used a struct in your say Java language. So this is a struct which is going to store the data for us. So here we have given the name for the struct property, and property Airbnb is, as this is a Airbnb, we are going to store the properties, and they have their fields. We are going to store the name, description is active. It is a name and description are of string type. Then is active is a boolean data type. Then we are going to store the price of this property as a UN256. Then who is the owner of the property and address of that. This is data type is the address. This is the say 20 byte Ethereum address, not address. Then this is a is booked boolean array. So here we have made some little trick to store the calendar because we don't have calendar in Solidity. So basically we are going to store the 1 to 250 365, as we have 365 days. So for the days we have booked, we just going to set the boolean to boolean value to true. So for example, if we are going to book for January 1st, then we'll set the boolean bool of one is booked of 1 to true. And say if you are going to book for 1 to 5 January, then we are going to set is bool of 1 true, is boolean of 2 to true, like till 5. So this is how we are going to use the calendar. Then next we have booking struct. So this is to take the store the booking details of a particular property. So this have property ID, that is U in 256. Then there is a check-in date of 250, again the same 250, UN 256 data type. Then checkout date UN 256, and then the user address who is going to book the this property. Okay, so Just open the Visual Studio Code and open this Airbnb.sol. Okay, so what we'll do, we will copy this property struct here. Make sure you are on a airbnb.sol file. So here I have written the entire like exact comments. So just follow the comments and do the copy pasting from the readme file. So here I have paste the property struct. Okay, and then there is a property ID. So we have declared the property ID as UN256. Then there is a mapping of properties. So here is a property ID to basically we are mapping the property ID to this properties struct. So basically, if you are giving the property, it's like a map in any other solidity, any other language. So if you want to get the details of particular property, just give here the property of one, then it will return you the property struct of a uh, particular property. Okay, then next here we are going to insert this booking struct. I'll just copy paste here. Then we have the booking ID. Then again this map. So here again we are storing the. Sorry, someone is saying something.
No, no. Hi, Sally. Can you also share the other screen?
Other screen. Oh,
Like,
sorry. So,
yeah, yeah.
oh, so only
Hmm. Like, can you share the full screen or
only
anything?
only Chrome is visible, right? Just
Yeah, yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'll share entire screen.
yeah.
So now Visual Studio is right. You can you can see the Visual Studio, right?
Just a second, Sally. Yeah, I think I can say. Yeah, I can see the PS Code. Yeah, it's not visible.
Okay. Okay. So maybe I'll just quickly walk you through this. So here
Sure.
in the Airbnb.sol file, there are instructions. I have just copy pasted this property. Then this property ID, we already had, you already had this property ID. Then there is a mapping from property ID to the property struct. Then we have inserted this booking struct. Then we have booking ID, and here's a mapping of booking ID to booking struct. Yeah, that's it. That's it so far. So then we are moving here. Uh, okay. So then we have this rent out property function. So basically, as the name says, if you want to book, you want to post your property for a rent, then you have to call this function. So it is taking the name, description, and price as its input. So then here we are making the object of the property struct. As you can see, this is a property struct. Then here is a variable name. Then we are just creating the object, and we are passing the name, description, and is active is basically yes, this is active is this property is active, you can book it. So that is a boolean boolean variable. So now we are setting it to true. And then the price, we have accepted the price from the parameters. Then owner is message dot sender. Basically message dot sender is the person who calls this smart contract function, this rent out property function. So we're gonna directly pick the address of the address of the sender, and assigning it as a owner. And then is booked here we are, if you can see here, we are assigning the creating the 356 length of array. So here boolean array of 356. So whenever any booking comes, we'll just update this value. So here we have ready with a struct. Then we are going to assign this struct to the mapping. So as I have told, this property ID will be the UN256, basically an integer, and this properties mapping. So we are assigning this property object, property struct to this array. Okay, so properties of say property of one will assign this will be assigned this value, and then we are going to emit this event new properties, and then we are going to increment the property id. So what is this event is basically, you cannot have this console statement, or you don't receive any output once you call any function or something. So these events are basically to understand, for our understanding, yeah, if you are calling some function or you are making any transaction, yeah, this then just to make sure that yeah, the purpose has been served. So once we have successfully uh, rented out the property, then we'll emit this event, the new property. So that we we came to understand that yeah, the property has been posted. So it's simple. So I'll just
Hi,
copy this thing.
hi, Sally.
Hi.
Like there are three property. One is capital property, then memory, then small property, and then again another capital property. So can you just lay out the differences between three of like
Yeah, yeah, sure. Let me just copy paste there on a Visual Studio Code,
sure,
then
sure,
you'll have the more idea.
sure.
So yeah, so okay. So instead of this, I just copy this. So okay, so this property is basically, if you go here, no, so this is the struct. So we are, it's like whenever you are creating
Mm-hmm.
the object, so this is this. Then the
Got
small property is just a variable name you are going,
okay,
whenever you are creating
okay,
object, like this
mm-hmm.
is like a class name for say test, then you are giving the variable name, then is equal to new test,
Okay,
like that you give
yeah.
declare the
Mm.
things na. So
Yes.
this property is basically your variable name, and here you don't need it's not a class, it's just a struct. So this again, the property is the struct name, and here we are passing the values, right?
Okay.
I hope
Okay,
you got your answer.
the third property is basically a call. You're using the
Third property is again the struct variable, struct name only. This
okay,
struct name only, and just we are
okay.
passing the data, whatever is
Got it,
required here. Yeah.
got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Sorry. So then this thing, mm, here here this property is basically this mapping I was talking about, this mapping and this property id. So I am storing this property id. So the property id, properties of property id, we are assigning this newly created property, basically this property, to this mapping. Okay, and then we are going to emit this event new property. Okay. Okay, let's move forward. Then we are going to add a function to book the property. So I'll just first copy paste here. So here I'll just retrieve, we are passing this property ID, which property we want to book, then for what period, so the check-in date and check-out date. So first here we are retrieving this property details. So you can see here the property ID, whatever we have received as an argument, we are just calling, uh, we are just fetching this property and assigning it to the property variable. Okay. Then next, yeah, someone is saying something.
You can continue.
Yeah. Then here we are just going to check if the this property is, just let me format the document. Then I have just pasted this line. Then here we are going to check if this property is available for these dates. So we are going to check if property is active is equal to true. If it's not true, that means property is not active. Property, you cannot book that property. So we'll just add this require statement. It's just like your assertions. You put your assertions like this, no? Yeah, same thing. Then we are going to add this. So here here is a for loop. Just a second. Here is a for loop. Basically, this for loop is going to book your properties for the given date. So this for loop is for the uh, date you have started to the till the date you want the booking. Then we are just checking again that if it's if is equal to true, then you cannot uh, you cannot book that property. So again we are checking that if this property is available for booking for this specific days. So it's a for loop, and if uh, property is not available, that is the is booked variable. You can remember that variable, right? Just a second, I'll show you. So basically this variable is booked
Okay.
array. So if is booked of that particular date is set to true, then you cannot book that property.
Okay.
So then it will just uh, revert the transaction back, and it if it's available, then it will just loop go through the entire loop and move to the next line. Then yeah, here the next we are going to just copy paste this. So here we are going to check if the customer has the amount, total amount required to book this property. So here, yeah, I need to tell you the one more thing, but yeah, let's go through. So here message dot value, you remember the message dot sender, basically the owner, and the
Yes.
message dot value will be the amount the sender is sending to book this property, and the price of property, we are fetching the price of property from the struct, and then just doing these calculations that for how many for this check out date to check in date to check out date, how much price is going to be, and the message the sender has sent the enough amount, and if it's not enough, then it will just broadcast send this revert the transaction with the error that send insufficient funds.
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
yeah, so there is this payable function on 70. So this rent out property is a payable function. The payable function means that you can send funds at the time of calling the function. So here you can send ethers. You can send the ethers to this function. So whenever this function is payable, you can check with you can have this message dot value. If you check, no, earlier there was no payable, so you cannot transfer funds to this function. So and here you can transfer the function. That is the basic difference. So here we, as we want to receive the payment, we are making it a payable function, right? Make sense?
Yeah,
uh, yeah. Then we are just calling this send funds to the, basically here send funds, we are passing this the beneficiary. Here here's the implementation. So basically here we are passing the address of receiver, sorry, address of receiver and the amount. So here we are passing we are passing the funds to the owner of property, so property dot owner, and whatever amount we have received as a from the message, we are just sending, calling this function, and this will just transfer this funds. Okay, and then we are making changes to actually update, creating a booking. So this is a create booking with the argument property id, which property we are on a book, and the check-in date and check-in. We are calling this internal function. So here's the implementation. So create booking. Let's see the implementation of create booking. So I'll simply first copy paste this. So so we have this booking struct ready here. Here, as I already explained, this is taking the property id, check-in date, checkout, and the user who is booking this. So we are simply created the object of this and assign this parameters to the appropriate value, appropriate. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, here we have assigned this property ID to property ID, and user, as you can see, the message dot sender who has called this function will be the user who is booking. So we have assigned this message dot sender to the user. Uh, Next, we are just update, updating the storage. So we have adding this booking, assigning this booking object to the our mapping. So booking, we are assigning this booking to the this booking mapping. So um, yeah, then next we are retrieving the property object from storage. So we are just again, same like we have done here, we have passed the property id and just pull the property details from the storage, and then we are making the property unavailable for those dates. So here is a for loop again. So here we are running the for loop from checking date to checkout date, and we are marking the is full value to the true for this particular dates. If you see the difference here, we just have checked if we have here we have checked that if it's available, and now we are actually updating value to the true, right? And then then we will emit this new booking event. So here new booking event will have this property id and the booking id, and just here this is how we have created the event. So we have total two events. First is new property event, which is basically will broadcast the property id, and the another is new booking, which will broadcast the property id and booking id. And here is the thing, here we have indexed this, uh, we have indexed this variable, say proper means property id is index, so that whenever you have broadcasted this, we have received, you have broadcast this transaction, then after your transaction is done, you have something called log. So there you can see the exact property id. If the if the if parameter is not indexed, you'll receive some hex, and then you have to decode it. So better whatever useful value are useful parameters are, make sure you have index. You can index up to 3 parameters. So above that you cannot index. So then other data will simply goes into the data field. There is a something called data, so it goes into the data field and then you have to decode. But the important things you can make it a index parameters. Okay. uh okay, I think, yeah, now we are done. Then what we'll do, we'll just open this remix idea. So basically this is an online tool which is used to run the Solidity contract. And one more thing I have left here is a, they always this is the first line of your Solidity code, and here you specify the compiler version. So right now it's 5.7. Latest version is some 7 point some 8 point something. But yeah, for this example we are going to stay on a 5.7. So I'll just copy this entire file, and here in contracts maybe I'll create a new file, airbnb.sol.
I think, yeah,
Yeah,
all just express all.
and I have pasted this. So you need to change the compiler. Here you can see the red line. So now I am going to change the compiler to 5.7. So here's 5.7, and now it started compiling. Sometime it start compiling, or yeah, if you can see the red line is gone and you cannot see any errors. So yeah, your code is compiled. Then you are going to deploy. So let's say here I'll switch it to the testnet. Mm, yeah, here I have some funds, but let me check here. I have more funds in this account. So here,
Can you just let the audience know like what are test nets and what are mainnets?
okay, yeah, sure. So here is a MetaMask. So MetaMask is basically a wallet uh, to hold, which is which which is used to like make a, basically you can see your funds here. So you can see I have here 438 ether, but it's on a Ropsten test network. So here is the Ethereum main network. So Ethereum main network is a Ethereum chain network, and here whatever funds you can see here, those funds have value. But when you switch it to the Ropsten test network, the in real world these funds don't have any value. It's basically used for this test networks are basically used uh, use for a development purpose, and you can try and debug your code. It works exactly same like your Ethereum. They have the multiple test networks. Say here you have Ropsten, Cohen, Drink. Yeah, there are their own faucets. You can request the funds, like if you want Ether, then you can request the funds from the faucet, and then you'll uh, get some initial funds. Then you can do the testing, and before deploying on a Ethereum mainnet and and burn your real money, it's better to test your
So
entire thing on a test network.
so it's like test it and used for testing purpose, right?
Yeah, right.
So can you share some of the links where people can actually get some test Ethereums?
Say MetaMask faucet. So here whenever you have, so say I am requesting the ether, so like that. This is the confirmation. Actually, I have already
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have requested.
requested too many
Yeah,
ethers, that's
sure,
why
sure.
it's showing it.
Makes sense.
But from this you can, so just search the faucet for, there are another faucets like um, Coven faucet. So here I'll share direct some
Sure,
references on
sure, 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 sure,
maybe you'll have the channel or something, no?
sure, sure, sure.
So
Yeah,
I'll
we
share.
have a channel.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So here, so yeah. So right now we are going to deploy this contract on a Ropsten test network. So here is the environment. Here there are multiple environment. Here we are going to use the injected Web3. Basically we are going to use this metamask. So metamask have injected this metamask has injected some instance in this chrome. So we are going to use that injected web3 instance. So I have selected this. You can see here it have changed to the network, to the Ropsten network, right? So yeah, and yeah, that's it. And now we are simply going to click on deploy. So now it have asked me to sign this transaction. So here there is a gas fee. So you can see here it is asking me for a 12.7 GWI. Basically 12.7 GWI is 0.011%, this much ether. So
Okay.
I'll just speed up the transaction. I'll make it 13 GWI and just confirm the
So
transaction. Yeah, go ahead.
is it like bidding? Like if the gas fee is much higher, then the transaction gets.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's
Okay.
like a bidding. If you want, if you are in a no hurry, say if you want to create a contract, then you will be not that hurry that yeah, you want to perform that transaction. But if say you want to make, you are making a trade, then you must perform that quickly. So you might go for a higher GWI. So if
Okay.
you are giving the more gas fees, then your it's like
Yeah.
your
It
transaction
will
will
get
be
approved
on a,
much
yeah,
much sooner.
in a
It will get.
priority. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Makes sense. Makes
So
sense.
your transaction, our contract is deployed. You can see the transaction is successful. Here you have hash. So if we go and check the Ropsten Ether scan, basically this is the Ether scan is a tool where you can see the status of your transaction. So you get this transaction hash. So you just paste here and you can see here you have created the contract and it just 1 minute ago, right? And now you have this contract address. You can see the little copy button here. So this is your contract address, and you can see the functions we have written there: the rent out property, rent property, booking ID, uh, bookings, basically the mapping. So if here we just pass the ID of booking and it will return the bookings detail. Same for property, and property ID is basically whatever it is, the variable we are incrementing to book the property. So property is ID is basically return the current property or current ongoing property. So all these functions you can see here. So what we are going to do, we'll just copy this deployed address. And now just let me know if in audience someone have any doubt on a solidity function, because a solidity part, because now we are going to move on a web3 part, that we are going to in- uh,
Okay.
how we are going to integrate this solidity to the web3 thing. So just let me know. Here we
Okay.
can you here you can see the arguments, and we'll just simply call these functions. We'll say I want to post my property, so I'll say test property. Description is test description, and in price I'm going with a one price, and I'll just So I'll just accept the one and then I'll transact. Again, it is asking me, here I can demonstrate the difference between write and read operations. So here I am writing something on a blockchain. So here it
Okay.
is asking me to sign the transaction and it is asking me to pay the gas fee. So here I'll just confirm and
So any
then
transaction on the
the
blockchain, so any transaction on the blockchain requires some amount of gas to be paid,
yes,
or
yes.
okay,
Yeah, but here you can see when we are calling this booking, if whenever we are calling this booking ID, to it is not asking me to sign the transaction or pay the gas fee because it's
okay,
just a read. The blockchain is basically open ledger, so you can read. The reading does
okay,
not require anything, but to write data on blockchain, you need to pay the gas fees. So
okay.
here earlier it was zero, and now you can see here the property ID 1 because we have already posted one property. So now it is returning the property ID 1. Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Here if I pass the property ID 1, then it will return me the all the details. So here string name destination false. Yeah, so basically property zeroth property, because array starts from zero, so zero property have this properties test the right now whatever have posted. It is the it went to the zeroth location and the address. You can see the address 0xf66 is the my address. So the owner of property is my address basically. Okay, any question on solidity part?
No, I think it's fine. We can move ahead.
Okay, so now we have this thing. I'll just commit this and then we have to. And now we are switching to the another branch. So now we are switching to the complete DApp branch. So okay, check out complete DApp. So here Solidity code is already there and it has this DApp UI branch. So we'll just go to this DApp UI branch and I'll just do the npm I so that all the necessary dependencies will be installed. Okay, here we have this here. So I have switched to the complete tab branch.
Hi, Sally. Before
Hey,
we
hi.
move ahead, we got some questions. Can we just quickly answer them?
Can you just repeat? It
Uh,
was
yeah,
some
I think
blurry.
we received some questions.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, sure.
Let
Just
me let me broadcast that to the screen, and you can actually answer them. So Ankit Jaiswal is asking, as we can develop a normal app and host it to somewhere to share to others. So on which platform we can host or deploy dApps? Okay, so maybe he's asking how we can deploy dApps, because
yeah,
maybe he,
basically DApp.
yeah,
Yeah, I understood the question. So
okay,
basically, DApp is like any another app. So to deploy the DApp, you don't need any special environment. Say if you are deploying your normal app, so say your React JS app or Nux.js app, if you are deploying on AWS, then you can deploy your DApp on AWS itself.
okay,
Is that yeah?
okay.
I
Just let me share another question by him. Okay, he's asking another question. Is there any advantage of or disadvantage of using JavaScript over Solidity when building dApps on Ethereum? Okay, uh, I'll send it up to you.
uh, so. JavaScript, basically JavaScript, you cannot write the Solidity is a language is used to interact with a blockchain. You cannot use the JavaScript to interact with the blockchain. So to interact with blockchain, you must use this like you need the contract, and there are very few language to write the contract. Like this Solidity is one of them. Another is a Viper. So in JavaScript, you cannot write the contract. I hope you
Yeah,
got
I
the
think
yeah.
I think Wave 2.0 and Wave. So
Yeah,
just to Solidity could be like to write smart contracts. People cannot write all those smart contracts in JavaScript or any other language. So maybe
no.
Solidity is the gateway to Ethereum. Oh, sorry, the Web 3 programming. Yeah,
Yeah, and then you can integrate your Solidity, like you can call the function the next basically the next part of our workshop. So there you can call the contracts this contracts function from the JavaScript or any JavaScript framework or any other language like a Python or something. But
okay.
yeah, that is going to be covered on our next part of our
So to
workshop.
only write smart contracts, we need to use Solidity, and other things could be done with JavaScript, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
It's not that a Web3 is just Solidity is not Web3. Web3 is
yeah,
basically how you interact with the blockchain. So entire blockchain era is comes under Web3. So
okay,
when you are interacting, so your JavaScript application is interacting with the smart contract. It's a part of Web3 only. But yeah,
okay.
there are some library JS library Web3.js. So using that, we are basically making the tunnel. So that's come under also Web3.
Okay, okay, makes sense. We can move ahead.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, our npm install is done. Uh, so now we are going to follow this. So first, just open this util.js, and there is a variable called Airbnb contract address. Here we are going to copy this Airbnb contract address from this button and paste on a util.js. So I have opened this util.js, and here Airbnb contract address. I am just removing this and pasting this new Airbnb contract address. Okay, and okay, then insert the mount. Basically, we are here there is a method called set provider, and then we are fetching all the properties, and then we are assigning these properties to the this dot post, basically the variable. uh, First I'll copy this thing uh, on index.view mounted function. So I'll just open the index.view, and in this mounted, okay, in this mounted, actually I have already copied. So here we have setting the provider. Provider is basically uh, provider. Here is a set provider. Provider is basically here what we are doing. We are just picking up the uh, Web3 version from the this injected Web3, the like we have done in a remix, uh, right? So here the browser, whatever in browser, whatever MetaMask have injected the Web3 object, we are just picking that object and just assigning here. So here you can see, here we have imported this Web3, and now we are just picking up the uh, variable from the window dot. I hope if you are familiar with the JS, then you know what is a window. So the Web3 have injected this Ethereum variable in the context of browser. So we are just assigning it to the our variable MetaMask, and basically we are setting up the provider. So here provider is we are going to use the MetaMask constructed Web3 for our application. So we have called the set provider. Then another, here we are fetching all the properties. Here we are fetching all the properties. Let's jump here and check what fetch all properties do. So here basically fetch fetch all property calls the fetch the all properties from smart contract. Just a second. Hmm. I'll come back here later on. And then this dot post. Post is basically uh, this object, and we are assigning all the properties array to this post, so that on load of this index dot on the load of page we can see all the properties. Okay, and then just a second, maybe I need to switch to another branch. Quick check out, because it's sorry. Just a second. I'm just making sure that, yeah, the empty layout. I'm just looking for empty layout file.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this is so. So now I am switching back to the master. I- So so here I am copying our contract address to here. Yeah, and then adding this line in a index.view file. Now you can see the the function is empty. So yeah, I can copy paste here. Yeah. So I have added the set provider and fetch all properties and assigning these properties to post in a mounted function. Okay, cool. Now, now we are going to again in a util.js and going to add this set provider. So I'm simply copy pasting this and adding here. I have already explained what this set provider do. And now we are creating the object here. Here, get Airbnb contract. Here I am pasting this. So let me explain this. So basically, there is a variable called Airbnb contract. What we are doing, we are creating. Uh, you remember, right? We have created this Web3 object, and our variable name is MetaMask Web3. And now we are creating the object. So we are using new web3.e.contract, and here we are passing the ABI and the contract address. Contract address is basically what we have given here, and Airbnb Airbnb ABI. So here is a file, JSON file. So what we'll do here, we will copy this ABI. So if you go back in a compiler, no, then here you can see the ABI. So on click of this, it just copies the ABI. We'll just paste it here. So ABI is basically, you can see the uh, skeleton whatever we have written in a Solidity function. So the ABI is required to call the function. So the contract, if you go to the Web3 JS library and documentation, so here is a contract. So to create a new contract, we are passing the this JSON interface. Basically, that is ABI, and the another is the address, JSON interface and address. So same thing we are doing here. Here we are passing the ABI and the contract address. So and then returning this Airbnb contract object. So yeah, and now we'll move forward. Now we'll go on the property form.view and we'll create a interface to post a new property. So let's just open the property form, and in property the HTML is written. We'll just write the implementation. So this is this is price conversion. So here whatever price uh, we are passing, we are just converting into the ether value as Solidity and the blockchain only. A blockchain understand the ether price format. So yeah, and then we'll call this proper post property function. So in to the post property function, we are passing the title. We have uh, here is a title. So whatever input parameters we are receiving, we'll just pass the title, description, and this price as a price, whatever price conversion we have done, and we are passing this price as a to the post property. And then we'll move to the post property. Okay. So in again in util.js, there is a post property form. So here we are going to call the our Solidity contract function. So rent out property, you remember, right? You rent out property is our Solidity function. So now we are going to call this rent out property. So for that, first what we are going to do, uh, I'll just copy this and here. So get Airbnb contract. Basically, this we are calling this function. It will return our Airbnb contract object, and then dot methods and the method name. So dot methods is a format, Web3 format. So Web3 library thing. So here we are passing this contract object dot this rent out property, and we are passing the name, description, and price. And then to broadcast the this contract, we are to send, basically to call the smart contract function, we are just sending this transaction, and here we are passing the from and the account, whatever account, from whichever account we want to call this function. So we are passing the from address. Here we can pass many other things, like if you want to give the gas, custom gas, then you can pass it here. So yeah, and that's it. After that, it is going to print a alert that property posted successfully. So yeah, this basically this is the thing we need to do to call the smart contract. Okay, let's move forward to the book property. So now if we want to book any property, we are going to call this detail model. So here we are going to book any particular property. So I'll just here basically we are converting this. I have explained no that 0 to 365 days for a booking, as the Solidity doesn't have calendar data type or something. So here what we are just converting the start date to the day day of the exact. We are basically, I hope you understand that yeah, we are just converting to the days. So here whatever date we are passing, we are just converting it to the day. So here we have converted this is the function we are calling. So here we have just passed the start date, and then it will return the day of the year. Same we are going to do for the end date. We are calling this function, and here it will return the again day of the year, and then the price calculation like for the start and end days, how much price it gonna cost. So yeah, here again the calculations, the whatever price is set for this property, and we are multiplying by the number of days, and then we are again going to call this book property. So here we are passing the property ID, start date, end date, and total price. So let's jump here on a utils.js file and write the call the book property function. So yeah, here's same thing what we have done for posting the property. This we are taking the Airbnb contract object and calling the rent out property, passing it the appropriate parameters, that is space ID is basically property ID, and check-in date and check-out date. And now here we are again sending this, and but at this time now we have this value, we have added this value basically. If you remember, the rent property was the payable function, so that here like this we can uh, send the amount to the we can pay the amount to that function. So here we are added the value, so we are assigning the total price as a value, and now we are sending it to the rent out property. So, and then once that transaction is done, we are posting the alert. And here is the fetch all property function. The basically fetch all property function is to fetch all properties. So first we are we are calling this property ID method. So property ID will return the current ongoing property ID. Here you can see here we were using the send, and we are calling we are using the call function. Basically, difference between send and call. Here you are writing the transaction, and here just you are the reading the data from the blockchain. So this just call works. So here we are calling the property ID, so it will it will return the property ID, and then we are going to iterate from 0 to the property ID. So let's just copy paste this thing. So here is a local variable properties, and for 0 to this property ID, we are calling this Airbnb contract. If you remember, there were mapping called properties. So here we are calling Airbnb contract dot properties of 0 and just calling it. And we are one by one, we are pushing one by we are pushing this data to this array. So properties dot push, this ID is this, ID is the I, then name is equal to this p dot name, whatever the result of this function call, then p dot description, and price is basically p dot price, but it have converted from way to the ether. So it is this conversion, and after that we are just returning the property.
So
So after,
Way is a small unit of Ethereum, right?
yeah, way is basically uh, so as we all know, the price of ethereum is too high. So price of ethereum is right now it's around $1,800. So we cannot use the $1,800 to book one property. So
Yeah,
what we do is the ether is divided we can split the ether in smaller units. So you can split the ether into 10 raised to 18 parts. So you can actually spend 0.00 like 18 zeros and then one. So
yeah.
like that. So So yeah,
So,
so that
so
that
in
one
short,
unit.
okay. So in short, whey will be a small, very small unit of ether, right? So it's basically ethers, but a very small unit.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay, okay,
exactly.
makes sense.
And then here again we are returning the properties. And yeah, I think that's it. Now we are just going to mm, we have already done the npm install, so npm run build. We are going to build the entire application. Yeah, we have built is successful. And then we'll do the npm run start. And let's open it. See, once I have opened it, have asked me to connect to the metamask. We have did that set provider thing, no? So set provider basically is trying to connect to the metamask, the injected metamask thing. So it have popped up to connect with the metamask, and now I am going to say yes, I want to connect this account to the metamask, and now it's connecting. And now you can see the UI. This is the UI I have built. Now we'll just do the rent your property. So now we have already used posted the zeroth property. So this will be another property. So now let's say uh, property title say test one, then test one description, and price say two ether, two ethers for now. Let's say two, and then submit. Here, mm, there is some error. Let's just fix that. Airbnb is not defined. Okay, maybe let's just import this. Actually, we don't need to, but yes. Let's try now. Mm,
Uh,
where it is
is
calling?
it is it required to build the project again, or it's not required?
No,
Maybe it's in
it's
catch. Okay.
it's oh, it's actually build. Let's try and then build again. Few of errors are gone, but let's check here. No,
Mhm. Yeah, you can stop.
maybe
Okay.
No, but we have now imported this
Yeah, yeah.
thing in just a little different.
Mm,
I don't know why, maybe by mistake, I have changed this line, removed this line. Maybe it must be this
yeah, yeah. I think
uh,
that's
latest versions issue. And this, I have built this long back.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's again post this test one and price will be 2 and submit, and still it is showing error.
Uh, the earlier error has been gone. It's a different error.
Yeah, now it's after pushing it. Nobody will debug this together.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, this
Uh,
thing. So actually, right now, currently there are some changes. So its expected JSON format is something like this. What was earlier. So it should be start with this thing. So it is expecting JSON. So AB ABI API colon and then this array. Okay, let's run it again.
almost correct.
Now it's same, right?
Yeah, it seems same.
And I don't think we need to build it again, but yeah, let's try. Actually, we don't need to do this build
Okay.
thing because, but still,
Uh, this property ID is not the earlier error has been
maybe,
gone.
yeah,
Property ID is not a function.
test one, test one,
Type error.
and
Okay.
yeah, now
Mhm,
it
yeah.
had worked. Yeah. So it is asking us to do the confirmation, sign the transaction, and we have signed the transaction. And actually, it should have shown us one property here, but it's not showing because of some error. Don't worry, we'll fix that here only. And this is the problem of my UI. So
Mhm.
let's property ID is not function. Basically, maybe because of the newer version. So what we'll do, we'll just go to the utils files and check this property ID. So property ID will make sure we have this same property ID. Here data is updating property ID. So let's do one thing. Let's put a console here. And it is showing us too many warnings that yeah, some functions are deprecated. Let's just put a console here first, or it is not building, or it needs to build again. Yeah, here is this is the that auto updated thing. So we should do this maybe for development. It will directly update the UI. So property ID, sorry, SP somewhere. So I'm again copying this thing, compiled ABI here. Yeah, now it's showing updated. And now let's try. Yeah, there was some issue in
Works.
ABI only. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can see this was the earlier we have posted there, and that time we didn't do conversion. So basically, when we are passing the value from here, no, here we have posted this one, no? So it has directly it has accepted it as a way. So now we have did the conversion. So here it is showing the proper price, but here it is showing the 0.00 and 1 because we didn't do the conversion at that time.
Okay.
Here we have set the value to the way. If we have given the ether, then it 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 must have picked the properly.
So,
And now we can see this thing, and on a view we can. You are saying something?
so yeah, so the now the first price, which is 0.00001, and the other one, so the first price is in
This is
way.
basically one way. Yeah, this is
Okay,
basically one way, and
and
here the second property is basically one ether. Here
okay,
we are
okay,
showing price in a ether format. Now we did the
okay,
conversion. So here
okay,
it is showing the 0.000 and like the 18 zeros, and then one means it is the that
okay,
uh yeah, basically
okay.
1 into 10 raised
The
to 8
mhm,
ether.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, like that. And now we'll do the booking. So here, say I'm doing booking for 23rd March to 24th March. So now it is asking me, so one ether price only, the booking is for only 1 day. So here it is asking one ether and plus some, so this is the gas fees, and this is the this one plus additional one is the amount we need to pay. So one plus this gas fee, so it is asking us to pay total this amount, and we'll simply do the confirm. And yeah, we have the confirmation. Here you can see the transaction is pending. So
Okay,
let's just see on Etherscan. It's not confirmed yet. And yeah, now it's confirmed. We'll just go back. Here that alert is come, and we'll refresh this thing. And now if we go and check, and if we try to book again for the same dates, maybe now Yeah, now it is showing the error exception thrown at contract. It is showing us error at contract because we have already did the booking for the same dates.
Okay, makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it. And
Yeah.
anyone has any doubts or questions, let me know, please.
Thanks, Ali. It has been it has been a great workshop, and I personally learned a lot. Uh, I think we'll wait some time for the questions. Uh, let me talk to the moderators and to collect if there's any comments or
Yeah, sure.
I think we haven't got any comments, but so I would like to ask some of the questions like how did you got started in the blockchain space, and how did you started your journey in the Ethereum space?
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't planned, but yeah, I was always crazy about learning new things and stuff. So I was doing the internship, and then I met the one of the two co-found. So I was doing the job with the you might have known about Anurag Arjun, the co-founder of Matic.
Yeah.
So I was doing internship in his previous startup, and there I have met JD, and there only JD, the another co-founder of Matic. There only I have met JD, and then I got they basically evaluate me and maybe see the potential, and then
Okay.
that's how they give me offer to join the Matic, and then I have worked on many things. Like initially, I joined the Matic. I joined basically to build a wallet. There is a Matic wallet, so we have built that wallet using the React Native. Then slowly, I shifted to the network part, like building the core network of the Matic, and then finally I have quit the
Okay.
Matic and now just doing my own start of the DApp list.
Okay. So the DApp list is your own startup, right? So you two people are I think two people are building the DApp list, or
Yeah.
you would like to throw some light on that?
Yeah, the DApp list is basically the app store for blockchain. You must have heard about this. Uh, every day there is some scam is happening in this crypto thing. So
Mhm.
basically, the DApp list is a marketplace where you can see you can explore the various dApps, and you will have the clarity. Yeah, here you won't be uh, uh, like there is no fraudulent activity. This is a legit application. If you have heard about this, nowadays the NFT hype is going on, and
Yeah, yeah.
earlier it was DeFi hype is going, and every day some another project is coming, and the you as a new user, you don't know if that project is legit. This project is going to stay for next a week or so. You are not, but like people are still putting their money because they just want to make money. So this platform is basically to this is like a app store. Like whenever you are downloading something, or now whenever you are getting confirmation for from the app store, that means that yeah, this is the legit product. So the
Okay.
process is basically there are hunters and there are voters. So hunters
Okay.
going to hunt the applications, any project, new project is coming on and posted there. Then there will be voting going to be happen on that project. Yeah, and
Okay.
if the certain criteria is matched, then that project is going to list on this the app list
Okay.
app store. So yeah, if say now for the adoption we are trying that yeah, no more and more people should come and uh, uh, use the blockchain. So for
Okay.
them all these things is very scary. So they can come to our platform and check the yeah, this is the legit platform and legit application, and we can say put your fund on X project like that. So yeah, basically that is the idea, and for that you will get the reward, and there are some another long plan. Then yeah, we are going to support this hackathon builder, so
Okay.
and they can come and onboard to our platform, and it will be easier. They'll get platform to showcase their project, and as we have already some user base, then this hackathon project will get more exposure. Maybe they get funding or
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, like that. So
So, uh,
this is the
uh,
plan.
from your perspective, I think DApp list will be some. I think this is I think of this as a decentralized product hunt.
Yeah, yeah,
If
exactly. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Decentralized product that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
it's like a it's something like, can we call it something like a product hunt? You
Yeah, yeah.
do you know about? Yeah.
Basic idea is, yeah, I have heard of Prover, and we are
Okay.
taking the motivation from Product Hunt only. So yeah, you can
Okay.
call it as a decentralized product hunt.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
But here we are incentivizing people. Like there will be rewards for the people who are hunting and who are voting on it. So they'll also have the incentivization to use our product, and yeah, it's gonna also serve the purpose of entire this our motivation, our motive to build this product.
Okay, so I think from your so you're going to give some kind of rewards to the people, and I think for that, are you planning for launching a token? I think. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, we are planning to launch token named Wise, and
okay,
all these rewards will be in terms of Wise token.
okay,
And yeah,
awesome, awesome.
we are going to launch in mid-April. The product is live. You can go and check it, the daplist.com, or if you want to do the hunting, then hunt.thedaplist.com. Maybe you can
Can
share
we
it in a.
yeah, 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 yeah. Can we share a screen? Do you have some time
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just let me. Do you have the? Can you share your screen with the application, or I can also share
Yeah.
my screen.
No, I think I'm already sharing a screen, right?
Okay, 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 okay. Just
Yeah,
let me add that to the list. Yeah.
yeah. So right now we have this stop this thing, but yeah, we have maybe v1 dot apples.com. So currently this is the UI. So
Okay.
now in mid-April or something, we are planning to following her V2. But you can see here, so Acropolis, the sandbox, so all these are
Okay.
already, these all dApps are already listed. We are coming with very rich UI, so don't worry. This was
Okay.
the
Okay.
first year,
Mm,
and
sure. Sure.
these
Sure.
are the
Sure.
list of hunters and voters.
Awesome.
And if you go and check here, no, hunt dot, so this is basically uh, the UI to hunt or do the voting. So if you see now, I need to connect to the wallet. So here I am connecting to the MetaMask. Wait, let me switch on the Ethereum main chain. Yeah. So here you can see, here
Okay.
you can post the DApp details, so name of DApp,
Okay.
description, and entire details, and just publish it. You won't require any funds, or even don't have to pay the gas fees, because the whole idea
Okay.
is to onboard a more and more people. So
Awesome.
we have did this off-chain hunting and voting thing. So but uh, just to make sure that yeah, there will be no more DDoS or something. So the requirement is you have to hold 60 DAI. 60 DAI,
Okay.
DAI is basically a
Yeah.
currency.
Stable
So you
coin.
have to, yeah, so you have to hold a 60 DAI in your wallet, just holding, no fees will be charged.
Awesome.
And right now I don't have, or maybe I'll switch, but yeah, no worries. So
Okay.
so once I have it, this warning is gone, and then you can put the detail of DApp and publish it. Okay, and then here you can see, and if you check here, no, then here you can uh, see the DApp detail and you can
Okay.
vote on the DApp. And once you have vote on a DApp, maybe I will see. We'll check this. So here you can see that yeah, here we have received the one vote, right? Right now we are not strongly pushing because we are waiting for a V2. So it just not, but some people, as we are doing marketing, some people are still coming because you can see we have main website to redact to hunt and vote
Okay.
is now closed. Yeah. So yeah, but still some people are finding out the link and pushing it. uh, so yeah, so thing is right, like that we can uh,
Okay.
vote and hunt. And right now there are no rewards, but once we launch the rewards, the whoever we call them as a early supporter retroactive
Okay.
mining. So whoever are voted and hunted the dApps and supported us till now, we are going to give the rewards airdrop or something to those people as well. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So yeah, this is
I
the
think the one thing exciting about this project is people do not need to pay any gas cost. Like gas cost
yeah,
is really a barrier for the entry
yeah,
people. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And
Uh,
plus, just to hunt and vote, and you don't know
yeah.
even
Yeah.
if your hunted DApp is going to list because it's on a top five top five top most voted dApps going to list for the V. So if it's not, then
Yeah.
your funds are like your gas fees are wasted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Exactly. Exactly.
mm, so
Uh,
that's why we have come
uh,
up with this thing that
from the
somehow try. Yeah,
yeah
yeah, go ahead.
from the gas fee, I think I can come up to my next question. Like, what are your thoughts on gas fees? Like, Ethereum is known for its too high gas cost. So, what do you think? Do you think it's a barrier for entry people, or and how they can actually get around this problem?
Actually, Ethereum gas fee are problem, and many people are trying to solve it. Now I'll talk little bit about Matic. Yeah, Matic. If you
Okay.
are an entry people, then yeah, maybe you directly onboard into the Matic because the Matic has very less gas fees, and some really good projects are trying to solve this problem. And ETH 2.0 is
Yeah,
not
it's not yet ready.
nearby. So yeah,
Hmm.
and I don't know how we are going to solve, but yeah, layer two solutions or like Binance Smart Chain, say we can move to. They have also
Hmm.
very less gas fees, but now BNB token, the use to pay the gas fees is also increasing because of the same reason. So yeah, it's basically a loop. Whenever whenever you are adapting to the, say now BNB, Binance BSC getting a lot of attention, but its token is token's value is increasing. So now uh, like how 2 months back it price was around $30. Now it's around
Okay.
$230. So now even if you are paying less fees in terms of ether, but now still you are paying paying more whatever you used to pay.
Okay.
So yeah, that is the problem. And yeah, we
Yeah.
all we
I
all
think
are looking to solve this problem.
I think one critics about I think I'm hearing a lot about Binance Smart Chain is it's not that decentralized for people. People are saying it's not that decentralized or any. Do you think anything on that? I think optimism. There are a couple of projects I think that are coming up with layer two solutions. For example, optimism. I think so. Any thoughts on?
Yeah, uh, yeah, like there is a rumor, and that is true as well, that yeah, PS is not completely decentralized, but still people are using it. If you and about optimism, yeah, is uh, optimism is if optimism can bring adaptation and optimism people can attract the people and it works, then yeah, of course it's going to, like, it will be really great. But yeah, still we don't right now uh, we don't have that strong solution. Optimism can be the next big thing, but still optimism is
Okay.
also in very early stage, so we never know.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I think I'm done with my question. I think I was coming up to the third question. Like, what are your thoughts on Ethereum 2.0? But I think you have already told something about the Ethereum 2.0, I think. But still, if you want
Yeah.
to talk something about Ethereum 2.0 and how it's going to change the gas fees and all, you're free to talk about that.
Right now, I would say it's better not to talk about Ethereum 2.0 because it's not nearby and it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very complicated. It is very
Okay,
complicated and like uh, as a developer, I still question that, yeah, uh, because yeah, as it's the dates are continuously changing because of, yeah, there
hmm,
must be some issues and they are trying to solve. So we can just hope that, yeah, they're going to solve the all the problems and they're going uh, come up with really good E 2.0. But yeah, still I don't see it coming nearby, maybe end of
hmm.
2021, but not too soon. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
this is
Okay, so my last question would be like, what would you suggest to all the people who are just getting started with blockchain or Ethereum or Web 2, 3.0? So, what would you be your suggestions on this?
actually for the not just who are just onboarding to the Web3 or say blockchain, to the all people who are just starting their journey as developer, it's not that hard. Just make your mind and Google and YouTube solves your
Okay,
most of the problems. So just do Google and or watch the videos and you will get solutions. So just
okay,
don't don't get the fear that how you gonna it's difficult or you need some, and especially for blockchain there are no courses. So just
okay,
come out of the mindset that, yeah, if you want to master something, then you need to do the course of that. It's not required, trust me. I joined Matic.
hmm,
I was really beginner. It's just that, yeah, I had cleared my basics of software development. I know how to code, how to write a logic. Everything else you can Google it for the syntax or something, and most of things are already done. So there's the now for nowadays for the just now who are graduating or coming out of college and just starting their journey, it's very easy. Just make your mind and start
awesome.
coding, start exploring things, and yeah, always you can message the people on a Twitter and they will respond. Trust me, people respond. People nowadays
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things have changed.
Yes,
People
yes,
are
yes.
very polite and people respond. They don't. And in a mostly in startup there is a startup space, there is a, what do you say, there is a no uh, traditional thing that, yeah, I am on a senior position, so how I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
respond to everyone. People are very casual and people respond. So just if you have any doubt, you can if you are building this thing or you are building in hackathon something, you can message me. I'll not reply in 2 hours, but I'll reply in one day definitely.
Okay, sure, sure,
So
sure.
yeah,
We can
yeah,
actually from this we can definitely invite you to our Discord channel, and if people are getting started with blockchain or anything, and if they have any questions, they can definitely get to you. So I'll
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
add you to our Discord channel. And
yeah, sure.
also talking about the like the resources you just said. So is there any of your favorite free resources for learning Solidity or uh, Web3?
Actually, I have set of links for the newbies. So I'll
Okay,
just add me on a Discord. I'll share entire my link.
awesome,
There is
awesome,
a 5 or 6 resources links. So I'll just post it there
awesome, awesome, awesome.
just for the newbies.
Definitely, I'll definitely add you to our Discord channel, and then you can share all those links. And thank you very much for coming to us and joining us and speaking about your experience and building a DApp live. It has been a great session so far, and I personally learned a lot. And we have already I think gone so far. It's supposed to be 1 hour, but I think we are already 1.4 to 45 40 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So so thanks for your patience, and thanks for joining us, Sally.
Yeah, same here. It was great talking with you and looking forward to do more sessions like this.
Awesome, awesome. Uh, okay, so we can end the session, and you can actually, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye
Bye,
bye.
bye, bye. So we are done with the third session. So we are done with this evening, and we do not have any sessions on this evening. We'll come back to you in the next session. Uh, till then, do do uh, so till then, you let's get hacking, and let's build something. Also, come to our Discord, and we actually are planning to. We did a design sprint today, and we talked to some of the teams. There were, I think, 6 or 7 teams that we did some kind of brainstorming. So come join us in the design sprint channel, and we will be continuing with the design sprint. With this, I'm signing off. Uh, thanks a lot.